Now available in paperback and e-readers. John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. A New Jersey man is currently on trial for taking the life of his 6-year-old son by forcing him to run on a treadmill.
The boy's mother sobbed on the stand. Les Trent has our report and would warn you that details are upsetting.
The shocking video will break your heart. It shows a little boy running as fast as he can on a treadmill. The video was played at the murder trial of the boy's father, 31-year-old Christopher Greger. Little Corey was an adorable youngster, but his father allegedly thought he was fat and forced him to lose weight by running on the treadmill in the gym in their apartment building in Barnegat, New Jersey. Corey's mother broke down in court as the tape was played, watching her son fall off the treadmill. We're not showing you the most disturbing parts, it's just too upsetting. But the video played for the jury shows Corey unable to keep up with the treadmill's pace and falling down again and again, only to have his father put him back on. Corey died 12 days later. The autopsy said there was evidence of chronic abuse. Corey's mom was asked about a phone call she had with the boy's father.
He told me Corey wasn't feeling good. That night, he was lethargic and he was throwing up and his legs hurt.
Did the defendant tell you where he was taking Corey?
He said he was going to the hospital. He was taking Corey to the hospital.
Ashley Wilcott is covering the case for Court TV.
You can't even imagine what it must be like to lose your child. But then add to that, this is a father who only came into the child's life a few years ago. This is a father that she has believed is abusing her child and has reported it appropriately to the Child Welfare Agency. And yet she is still having to bury her son. It's really unimaginable.
The defense team claims the boy died of natural causes from complications of pneumonia. He faces life in prison if convicted.
Now, in this alleged incident that took place in New Jersey, Christopher Greger allegedly took his 6-year-old son, Corey Michelow, down to the gym of his apartment complex and allegedly made him run on a treadmill and forced him to continue running as he increased the speeds on the treadmill. Now, as this 6-year-old boy, Corey Michelow, tried to keep up with the treadmill, he wound up falling down multiple times and was forced by his father to get up and continue running, even though he was falling multiple times on the treadmill. Now, 6-year-old Corey Michelow basically, again, was a child running on this treadmill, and as he was running and hitting his head, he was suffering from blunt force trauma to the head from falling those multiple times, but Christopher Greger didn't care. He continued to make his son run because, according to him, he was too fat. And as a result, what happened with Corey was the next day he was very ill from the blunt force traumas to the head repeatedly from falling on this treadmill, and also woke up with nausea and other issues. And his father didn't see any sort of problems with his son, even though he had slurred speech and nausea and breathing problems, and waited until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon to take his son to the hospital. And when he took his son to the hospital on April 2nd of 2021, sadly, Corey Michelow wound up dying in spite of doctors' best efforts to try to keep him alive. And as a result, what happened with Corey Michelow is he wound up passing away. However, as they did investigation, they found out about the father's workouts as related to his son and the abuse that had happened as to the result to it. And this is how Christopher Greger wound up getting arrested and put on trial for taking the life of his son. Now, the people in the state of New Jersey see this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged actions Christopher Greger allegedly participated in, it fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that Christopher Greger is a textbook example of what I call a beta male father, because with beta male fathers, they really do not understand how to relate to their sons, and as a result, they put their sons in jeopardy to become men in crisis like them. And in the case of Christopher Greger, he took Corey Michelot and put him in a dangerous situation, mainly because he wanted to maintain his smooth world. Now, Christopher Greger basically put Corey Michelot on this treadmill because he said that his son was getting too fat, and that reasoning is just completely illogical, because it's clear to me from looking at the pictures of his son was a healthy weight. But because Christopher Greger wanted to have his smooth world, what he did was go out here and look to try to force his son to lose weight to make him fit into his rose-colored reality. And as he looked to fit him into his rose-colored reality, subconsciously he wanted to get even with his son for being direct competition to him. Because when it comes to beta males really don't see their sons as children that they should be looking to teach and instruct. No, what many beta males see a son as is as competition to them in the social marketplace. Because for many beta males, they think just like females and react emotionally like females, and that's what makes being in the presence of a beta male father a dangerous place for his son. It makes it a very dangerous place for a son, because that father isn't looking to teach that son male life skills or male survival skills, because the father fears that the boy will become direct competition to him. Moreover, they fear that the son will basically surpass them if they get male life skills and survival skills and be able to become a better person in the social marketplace. So what they do is passively look like they want to care for their sons, but aggressively they want to undermine and sabotage these boys. And they want to undermine and sabotage these boys because they fear these boys competing in the world, and they fear that these boys will do better than them in the world. And that's what's happening here with, I believe, with Christopher Greger. Christopher Greger, a beta male, feared that his son would be able to go out and compete in the social marketplace and the world. So passively, he made it look like he wanted to take his son to the gym to help him lose weight, but aggressively what he wanted to do was undermine and sabotage the boy by putting him through a series of abusive workouts that basically put the boy's health and safety in jeopardy, because no father worth his salt will go out here and take a 6-year-old boy to a gym with adult-sized machines and put the boy on adult-sized machines at the highest speed, because that would put the boy's life and health in jeopardy. No, only a beta male who fears having to compete with his son would go and do this kind of abuse, and beta males, again, want to participate in this abuse of their sons because they don't know how to function as men, and they don't know how to critically think or problem solve as related to a situation. Because if a father is seeing that his son is allegedly gaining weight, like Christopher Greger alleges, he would understand that, look, I can't take my son to a adult gym to work on adult machines. No, he would go and find healthy activities for him and his son to do, like going to go play in a park, or learning how to go out here and take walks, or go out here and talk to that boy. But again, beta males don't want to talk to a boy because they see a boy as competition. And because they see the boy as competition, they want to eliminate a future man from being able to challenge or oppose them. And that's why Christopher Greger, I believe, went to put his son through this kind of abuse. Put him through this kind of abuse because, again, any critical thinking man understands an adult-sized machine at high speeds is going to really put that boy's health and safety in jeopardy, because there's no way a 6-year-old can keep up with an adult treadmill, which can go as fast as 10 to 20 miles an hour, as fast as a human being can run as an adult, because a child's legs haven't been developed, and even their own skulls and brains aren't fully developed yet. And that's why Corey Michelow suffered so many injuries as a result of this running on this treadmill. And this is basically why this is abuse. I mean, this basically was like participating in the murder of his son. And this basically is the reason why this boy is dead right now, because the father really wasn't looking to be a father. No, he was looking to try to eliminate other male competition the same way beta males do, because beta males are just like females, and what they do is do stuff under the table to try to undermine their sons. And that's why beta male fathers are not really good to have around children, boys or girls, because when it comes to beta males, they don't really see the value of their sons as boys, and don't really want to try to help mold them into becoming healthy men, because all they know themselves is dysfunction. And since all they know is dysfunction, what happens when you put a beta male father around the son is basically the boy is in one of the most dangerous environments they could ever be in, because the beta male father really is, again, somebody who does not like other males, doesn't want to be around other males, because they fear having to be challenged by other males. And that's why a lot of putting a kid in a room with a beta male father is worse than having no father at all, because this whole situation basically shows the clear and present danger of a beta male father, and how beta male fathers, again, don't know how to problem solve, because, again, this boy, as he was saying, oh, the boy is too fat, and he wanted to fit him into his smooth world, and again, was subconsciously looking to get even with the boy, again, not helping the boy at all, because healthy activities for a boy are taking the boy to a park to run around, taking the boy out for walks to different places, talking and getting to know the boy. But he didn't want to know the boy because he was a dysfunctional man who had children with multiple women, basically a white male, Pookie, even though he came from a home with a police officer father and was living, again, a middle-class lifestyle. Clearly, he didn't get any male life skills or male survival skills from his father. And this male basically was a male who was a man in crisis, who passed down his dysfunction to the next generation, to the point where he basically took the life of one of his own sons. And again, this is what happens when you have a beta male father. And again, beta males are just, again, a danger to everyone because of their dysfunctional frame of thinking. And this whole situation basically shows that this father really wasn't looking out for the best interest of his son. No, he was looking out for himself, and again, selfishly out here looking to go out and abuse this boy to get even with the mother for asking him to be a father. I believe in a case, because when it comes to beta male fathers, again, they have a lot of resentment to the women that they have kids with when they ask them to take responsibility. Just like most modern women, they have a lot of anger towards people who ask them to take responsibility, and this is why they participate in the passive-aggressive behaviors that they participate in. Now, this guy, Christopher Greger, he basically is on trial, and the case is looking open and shut as related to the trial, because they have video of him basically abusing the boy, and they also have the medical examiner's report. So this case could be an open and shut case if they don't apply white privilege, because his father was a former police officer. But when I look at the evidence, it basically looks like this guy he's on his way to life in prison. He was offered a deal for 30 years in prison, but if he is convicted, he will get and deserve to get the life in prison he receives. And there, he's going to go from looking to abuse his son in a workout to getting worked out by Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles inside of the penitentiary, and they're going to be giving his front side and his back side a workout that he'll never forget, as they look to trade him for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand orange drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand fruit punch, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand chocolate chip cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand sugar wafers, Hunt snack pack puddings, Kit Kat candy bars, candy bars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, and Fritos chips and prison chips, and packets of tuna, packets of chicken, packets of beef, and as he's given the carbon rods in the front side and the back side, Mr. Sprinkles will be coming to finish him off after the spit roast by spraying his front side and his back side with the special sauce. And after they finish spraying him with the special sauce, Mr. Sprinkles is going to call all the guys from Cell Block D to come check him out as he splits the cheeks open and shows us his backside looking like the inside of a glazed donut. And after getting his backside completely glazed and looking like the inside of a glazed donut, this is where all the guys in Cell Block D are going to have him washing the skid marks out of their jockey drawers and with a toothbrush, because what's going to happen to this guy, Christopher Greger, is going to be far worse than any of the abuse that he did to his son on that treadmill when they get him in that penitentiary. And as he's in that penitentiary for life, he's going to find out how rough things are inside of the penitentiary, because once they find out he did this to a little boy and abusing him, he's going to be dealing with abuse for the rest of his life inside of that penitentiary. And inside of that penitentiary, he's going to learn hard lessons about life as related to being a man, and he will have deserved it for abusing this boy, because this male basically showed how dysfunctional he was as a man in crisis, and that crisis is going to get far worse when they turn him out inside of the penitentiary, because what this man did was extremely egregious to, again, put your son in that kind of jeopardy because you think he's too fat. But that whole approach, again, I will repeat it once more, was abuse in my eyes, because, again, a man does not take a boy to an adult gym in any place to go work out. No, it takes a 6-year-old boy to a park, and he plays with his son, and he goes out here and looks to bond with his son and connect with his son over activities that are on his level, and he also looks to socialize his son with like-minded children so that he can connect with other kids and have a reason to focus on things other than food. That's what a father does for his son in providing him with a healthy environment where he can learn to grow healthy and have other things to focus on other than food. That's what a father does when he cares about his son. He takes an active involvement in his son as a man. He doesn't go out here and look to go out here and participate in passive-aggressive behaviors like this guy did. And this guy, again, did this because it shows how dysfunctional he is. But what I see here, again, is what happens when you have a beta male father who is having a son. What he does is, again, put that boy in jeopardy. And that's where that boy is basically put on a road to danger, because he's in the presence of not a man, but a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about why beta males are not suitable individuals for relationships or why they make terrible fathers, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and you can also find it at big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And this was a video requested by a viewer, and if you want to request a video, you can send a donation for a minimum of $15 to the Cash App or the PayPal by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes' Illuminati, the man who rules the world, takes on the head of the global elite in this all-new action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' Illuminati in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.